Have you grinded for 2 weeks to get the perfect plane, and you're ready to kick ass, but you don't? Somehow you lose every fight with other planes, and every player laughs as your wings fall off the second you get off the ground. Maybe you might say, this plane sucks and needs a proper buff, or something on those lines. Do you think you'll never win with that vehicle? Well, maybe you're just using that plane wrong. Flightless boy here, and welcome to my generic plane review. I go through almost every plane I can put my dirty, sweaty, and fat hands on. The plane we're looking at today is from the star plane from the Italian tree, the BA.65. Let us get this show on the road, shall we? Anyways, let's go into some good old history. The BA.65 was an evolution of the BA.64, and designed by Anto Panarano and Gustav Palazzi. Like its predecessor, it was intended to undertake multiple roles as a fighter, attack, and reconnaissance aircraft. Many different designs and redesigns were made with the plane, undergoing some changes in armament and some other general stuff. When it was finally built, the prototype first flew in September 1935, and production soon started after that. Most of the BA.65's use was during the Spanish Civil War between the Republicans and Nationalists, led by General Francisco Franco. It was equipped with the Sancarelli of Aviation Legionnaire, or the Legionnaire Air Force for your English speakers out there. The unit took part in the operations in Santiago in August 1937, and then at battles of Tumia and Embryo. It was really effective, and it was even compared to the Stuka at the time. Of the 23 BA.65s sent to Spain, 12 were lost in the course of the Civil War. They flew 1,921 sorties, including 368 ground strafing and 59 dive-bombing attacks. During World War II, the BA.65s were employed against the British in North Africa, which it didn't do so well like a few years back. About 150 aircraft were reported to be still in service, but suffered heavy losses facing British fighters. Most were either out of service or shut down by February 1941. Production ceased in July 1939 after 218 aircraft were built by Breda and Caproni. They were exported to multiple countries including Iraq, Chile, Portugal, and the Spanish state. Now let us go into some stats of this plane, shall we? Crew 1. Length 9.30 meters. Wingspan is 12.10 meters. Its height was 3.20 meters. Its wing area was 23.5 meters squared. Its power plant was a ×1 Fiat A80 RC41 Radical 8 engine producing 746 kilowatts. Its armaments was ×2 12.7 millimeters and ×2 7.7 millimeter Beretta machine guns and ×1 7.7 millimeter machine gun dorsal turret, with 4 × 50 kilogram bombs and 2 × 100 kilogram bombs. Let us move on to some in-game stats for the official War Thunder wiki. Okay, let us move on to the in-game stats from the official War Thunder wiki. For stock, its max speed was 465 kilometers per hour at a height of 5,600 meters. Its max altitude was 9,800 meters. Its turn time was 30.9 seconds. Its rate of climb is 5.9 meters per second. Upgraded, its max speed was 490 kilometers per hour at the same height and the same altitude, by the way. Its turn time was 29.0 seconds. Its rate of climb is 7.6 meters per second. Since all this technical stuff is done, we can move on to some pros and cons. I feel like the BA.65 is one of the best star planes out there, besides a few others. But that doesn't mean it's good or better than some other biplanes in the reserve section of the pros. Say an armament count, capable of downing planes in a few seconds. Protected by most threats by rear turret. Decent energy retention, which should be enough to get some players off you. Cons: slow speeds and slow acceleration of aircraft, inferior turn rates to most biplanes, catches fire easily, No armor or pilot protection. Low survivability. Like last time. I know what you're thinking. This is nice and all. But how does this help me? What are some possible solutions to improve? I mean, there isn't much to improve. And you don't have to follow this advice if you find another way of doing things. Because that's fine. Because I could be wrong. Here are some tactics for you to think about using. Tactic 1. Ground pound targets with your bombs and machine guns. And go for lighter stuff such as trucks or anti-air. Tactic 2. Drop your bombs in bases and then use your guns on weaker aircraft. Alright, I think we're done for today. Hopefully, you learned something new today. And I hope you have a great day, both offline and online. Until next time.